Praise be to Jesus. Hello, everyone. Charles Whitby here. Well, church militant has asked themselves a question, which is, does a bishop have the right to order a priest to go to psychological evaluation? And the short answer here is clearly no. The bishop does not have this right. This question came up. They did the research here. Church Militant did the research, and they found that the Congregation for the Clergy, in the decree of October 8th, 1998, uh, in writing to a bishop, this case came up before them. All right, so it says, Your Excellency cannot, in this case, under pain of obedience, oblige your priest to undergo psychological evaluation. This again came up in 2002. This was printed in 2002 from the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, and it's entitled Delics, Canonical Delicts, I think Delics, involving sexual misconduct and dismissal from the clerical state, second printing, Washington, D.C. It says canon law protects an individual's right to privacy, and curial practice has established that a priest may not be compelled to undergo psychological evaluation or treatment against his will. Now, amazingly enough, it says, the above opinion reference in the USCCB text just happens to be seconded by one of Cardinal Cupich's own canon lawyers, William Wostman, currently listed on the Archdiocesan website as Associate Vicar for Canonical Affairs. One would think that the Cardinal Archbishop of Chicago would have relied more upon his own legal experts before dispatching his henchmen. All right, so that goes on. The analysis that they're coming up with here is that he knew full well what he was doing, and this is part of his game plan to, well, he was hoping to bully him into going to St. Luke's Treatment Center. I think it's in Maryland, I think it said, where this particular place where priests are sent, and they talk about, most priests are just, they don't, they just do what they're told, and they go there, and what happens is, in some way, shape, or form, this comes back to haunt the priest. In other words, the bishop uses it against the priest, to do, either remove him or demote him or, ship him off somewhere or whatever. So, the Cardinal's got like a whole game plan here about how he's going to deal with this, and he's going to get rid of him. He got rid of another really good, solid, traditional priest, in a very most beautiful parish. It was named the most beautiful church in the United States. It's absolutely stunning. When I walked in there, my jaw just dropped. This was several years ago, but anyway, he got rid of that priest because he was having Latin Mass there. The Cardinal doesn't like Latin Mass. So, the Cardinal's got a whole game plan here about how he's going to get rid of, Father Cupich. So, a few other things. It says, few, however, are the priests like Reverend Paul Cupich who have the courage to say no to such abhorrent exercise of abuse of power. And, then it goes on to say, we have attained the weaponization of psychological testing. This is what I was saying about how if a priest gives in and goes for this, how it's eventually used against them. And it says here that, a lot of money is spent on this. Of course, all this is done very secretively, I mean, it's amazing how secretive the Catholic Church is. We just always, we just are like Catholics, and we just are very trusting, and all these recent things that have happened, or at least come to light, really make us question, like, now we're on the other side of the fence. It's like, geez, you don't want to trust anyone. And you certainly don't trust what any clergy say, unless you know the clergy real well, and they have a history of, standing behind what they're preaching. If you know someone like that, that's fine. But, I mean, so some of these guys here, it's like you wouldn't, you wouldn't give them the time of day, as far as like believing them. So, things of our Lord has really changed that around. He's telling us to wake up and, you know, smell the coffee here. In this case, it's more like us, smell the stench of the sewer. Well, so, that's what's going on here. And, I just hope, I'm looking for some organization to going downtown, and maybe somebody will give me a sign. I could stand there for a while with a bunch of other people. Uh, but it's the same old story. See, how many people are going to show up? There was just one in Atlanta, Georgia, um, about Archbishop Wilton. I had invited Father Martin to speak. I think it's in October. Um, and Dr. Bowring was there, and a handful of other people, and they were interviewed, and they got some airplay and some time on the local station. But it's like a handful of people, you see. And Chicago's bigger, so there'll be two handfuls of people, you know. And you could see why you know um, the hierarchy just dismisses us, I mean, we can make a lot of noise on the internet or make a lot of noise here or there, but when it comes right down to it, now if there were 10,000 people out in front of the cathedral downtown, then the Cardinal might go, this is getting kind of serious. In fact, we should be able to put 100,000 people out in front of the cathedral and block that whole section of downtown. But are people really gonna, take that on? I mean, history teaches us that, people just don't care that much. I mean, they unfortunately they say they do, but when it comes to like giving up a Saturday morning or something like that, it's like very few people show up. And, that's empowering the enemy, is what we're doing. And I'm as guilty of it as anyone else, Um, so I mean, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself too. I mean, I try to do some things. We could all do more than what we do. You know. Well, anyway, that's about all I have to say about this. So we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.